Good evening, viewers. My name is MC Chaka. I'd like to welcome you to another edition of Legal Hour program that we bring to you every Thursday and, of course, Tuesdays. Lawyer has already covered the tree version on Tuesday with MC Big Willie. And tonight we're going to look into that same topic with the English version. So please make sure you don't go away. Make sure you stay and enjoy this very educative program that we bring to you. And I must say that this program is proudly sponsored by CITI Law Solicitors. They've been our backbone since the beginning of the programs. We started way back about 3 months ago, and they've been sponsoring this program. And of course, CITI Law is the only legal firm that has brought such a media house. They've got radio and, of course, the TV station. So tonight we're going to talk about divorce. I know a lot of people might be thinking that why are you guys going to discuss divorce? As far as we don't really want to talk about it, it's something that obviously happens, you know what I mean? So we just need to elaborate or to throw some light into that for people to be aware of what they need to do when they are confronted with such situations. So we're going to talk about divorce, we're going to talk about financial settlement, and of course clean break. This is what we're going to discuss this evening. Make sure you share. A lot of people have been calling lawyer, myself sometimes. There've been a divorce. Myself and my husband, we've separated. We're not living together. How do we go by, sharing the property? So tonight, please make sure that you listen. If you're not going to need it at this point, maybe a time will come you will need it, or someone who probably is going to need it, and you'll be able to give the person some sort of information. So it's very relevant. This program will be channeled through our radio as well, CITI Media Radio. If you go to Modern Ghana, the abroad section, CITI Media is there. I've shared the CITI Media Radio link to all my contacts. So if you've got it, please make sure you share with others as well. It will be powered through CITI Media. And of course, our YouTube channel, if you go to Solicitor Thomas Beyebenwo, YouTube, Solicitor Thomas Beyebenwo, you get this program live. And of course, our Facebook link, which we will share to everyone. So please make sure that you share this program for others to benefit from it. And there's a lot more things that we talk about. I would like to keep that as a secret. In the course of the program, you hear that. So lawyer is getting ready. He's my usual guest, lawyer Thomas Beyebenwo. He's getting ready. I'll be introducing him very soon. But until then, please stay tuned. Don't go away. We will be right back. Please stay tuned. Welcome back, viewers. Yeah, so I've got my guest, lawyer Thomas Beyebenwo from CITI Law Society. Welcome to the program, lawyer.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. As I always say, you've been very nice to us. You're educating us, imparting your knowledge onto us. So thank you very much for your generosity and your kindness, actually.
Thank you.
Yeah, so Christmas is approaching. What are your plans for Christmas?
Oh, I've got beautiful plans.
Yeah? Are you going to go for break? Or?
Yes, I'll have a break and have some rest.
Oh, yeah, I know. I know you guys really get busy. You've got a very tedious job. But then you do that with passion. So obviously, I think you deserve your break. If you go for a break, you do deserve it. But thank you for obviously coming here to educate us once again. And tonight's topic is very interesting. You've selected divorce, financial settlement, and clean break. What motivated you to select that topic? I mean, is really people don't really want to talk about divorce.
Yes,
I know it's part of our life anyway, but a lot of people really don't want to talk about it. So I was wondering, I mean, what could obviously pushed you to select this?
Yes, I'm glad you asked a question like this. The point is that I must say that we are not in any way suggesting that people need to leave their marriages. But the truth is that these things are happening day in, day out. And some of these discussions are quite significant and quite beneficial to especially the underdog who may struggle to go through the process without knowing where to start from. So within this, we've also we are not looking at divorce per se, we are looking at clean break. So we are saying that after you've gone through the divorce, is that the end of the whole proceedings? And my answer is no. There is something they call clean break, which most people don't discuss. But day in, day out, there are a lot of issues that are coming up. And recently there is a very new case the case of Sesame versus Salantron about divorce settlement, which is a clean break that was not effective during the party's life, but only became effective by after the demise of one of the parties. And they have to go to court and be wasting a lot of money. So for us, it is important that people understand that after they have gone through this quite devastating process, they put a break to it, they clear their finances and everything. Of course, it is important that we talk about it because it is the end of the year. So if you have been through this, then perhaps you may have to put all these things behind you and start life afresh. So it's important that we discuss, but we are not in any way suggesting that or promoting divorce. We are just saying that those who have gone through it need to consider financial settlement, and they also need to consider what they call clean break, because otherwise then there could be a lot of issues that they can go through that or can happen whilst they are still waiting, or when they ignore what they are meant to do, and eventually it comes back to bite them. In the course of this whole process, we will get to know that there could be people that perhaps may not have done this clean break, and then sometimes there is bankruptcy of one of the parties could be made bankrupt, and this could affect the very assets that they feel they are entitled to. So it is for these reasons that all these things are so important that we discuss. So if any of you is watching us tonight, it's important that you stay with us and don't get offended that we've just mentioned this B word, because in the end we learn a lot from it.
Yeah. So I said that during the introduction anyway, that it's not our interest for people to obviously divorce, but it's something, it's just like death. You know what I mean? Yeah. As much as we don't wish or we don't want to die, eventually we are going to die. Yeah. But then this is something that at some point could happen. And then it's good. Knowledge is something that we all need to acquire. So obviously, should in case you are confronted or you encounter, such situation, obviously you know exactly what to do. So it's very relevant, and it comes under law. It's under family law, isn't it?
Yes, it's under.
Yeah, exactly. So it's something that obviously viewers should understand, because you have clients who have been coming to you all the time to seek advice. I mean, to get directions as to how they can process all these legal rights and stuff like that. So it's really good. I mean, to me, it's something that obviously is in your area of practice, so we have to discuss, and I think a lot of people benefit from that. So yeah. So if I should ask you this, you've mentioned clean break anyway. Is it an order? What are the legal implications of clean break when we talk about clean break, please?
Yes, normally clean break happens when parties have gone through the divorce, they've gone through the financial settlement, and they've eventually come to a point where they've been able to sort out all their financial matters. So at that stage, there's a clear break between the parties, because what people don't know is that the divorce itself ends the marriage, but it doesn't end the financial matters.
Okay.
So those stuff needs to be sorted out. But sometimes people leave it hanging, thinking that this is the end of the road, but it's not. So that's one of the reasons why this whole clean break is so important.
All right, thank you very much. So so that means that obviously people will have to share properties among themselves, in terms of as part of the order. So when we talk about the asset or the properties that they have to share, is it what they call the matrimonial asset?
Yes.
Okay, can you throw some light into the matrimonial asset and how the court goes by it?
Yes, the matrimonial assets, obviously, in a very simple terms, you'll be looking at properties that have been acquired in the course of the marriage. And these properties can be the family home. It can also be investment that have been made, savings, if one of them owns companies, and pension. Pension is so important.
Oh, okay.
So the point is that these are things that have been acquired in the course of the marriage. So they are simply what they will call matrimonial assets. But in the course of time, we'll find out why, even when some of these properties are not considered to be matrimonial assets, they can equally form part of it in dealing with the financial settlement.
Oh, okay.
There could be other reasons for that.
All right. Thank you very much for throwing light into the matrimonial asset. So, what kind of properties are not considered as a marital asset? I mean, if you want to educate us on that.
Yes. So, I think the leading case for determining what is a matrimonial asset or non-matrimonial asset is the case of White versus White. But obviously, this has been superseded with time when needs are being taken into account and all that. But normally, it's simply established that if someone had assets before it and the person, he or she, entered into the marriage, or inherited properties in the course of the marriage, then that could be considered as non-matrimonial assets. And the matrimonial assets are assets that has been acquired in the course of the marriage, irrespective of whether it's in their joint names or in their sole names. Okay. Because the value of somebody giving up his work or her work to look after children and be cooking is equivalent to the one who is going out there to do work and pay for them.
That's another work anyway, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So, but obviously, in the course of time, we'll find out that even what we consider as non-matrimonial assets can also form part of the family pot, because obviously you have to certify things like needs, maintenance, personal maintenance, and all these things may require that the inherited properties eventually becomes part of the assets that you have to rely on to meet the needs of the other party. So sometimes people feel that, if I had everything and then you came in, then it means that you can just go like that. No, it doesn't work like that.
It doesn't work like that. Okay, so what if there's no matrimonial asset? Can clean break still go ahead, the order?
Yes, the point is that, as I've said, sometimes people may feel that just one person has the asset, and then she had those assets before he entered into the relationship.
Yeah.
So he might think that he doesn't need that clean break. But the fact is that if you don't do that clean break, then that whoever has not, maybe it could be a marriage that is for a very short period. Because when it comes to the division of the assets, we look at the length of marriage and all that. So that person, after the divorce, might just be hanging around. He has not remarried, and eventually may come back for this financial settlement. And then he might have to go into the assets that person had in his name in the course of the marriage before the divorce. So it's important that people do this clean break. And as I've said, this whole topic is not about divorce, because we are not in any way promoting divorce. We are saying that people, after they have gone through this process, should be able to do their clean break, because there are a lot of complications that can be involved if they don't undertake those processes.
All right, so viewers, if you've just joined us, I'm here with my usual guest, lawyer Thomas Beyebenwo from CITI Law Solicitors. They've been a backbone from day one. They've been sponsoring this program since we started, and we've discussed a lot of topics on this show. Tonight, we're talking about divorce, financial settlement, and clean break. And then the lawyer has just thrown some light into clean break, financial settlement. So what we're talking about is very important. It might not be your case today, but then somebody you know probably might be having be encountering difficulties in this area of practice. This comes under the family law, as lawyer has alluded to. So tonight we're talking about the family law, and we're talking about divorce, clean break, and financial settlement. I would like to acknowledge my viewers, people that have tuned in on our channel, and then people that are watching us live on Facebook as well. So we have KD Jamo, Karen Asari, Ekuya Ajimedia, they are all watching. William Boache, senior BM says we are live. That's good. KD Jamo says watching you live from Ghana. Thank you very much, Pago. KD is my childhood friend from primary school to JSS. Right. And he's my rival in terms of school. Pokoare, he went to Pokoare, Okatachie, and I'm a mom for. But then anytime we meet, we are best of friends. Anyway, he's my childhood friend. So thank you very much, KD, for watching. And I've got Karen Asari Smith. I hope you remember Karen. Yeah, Karen says, hi, Joe. I'm also here. Ekuya Ajima say, I just joined the program. Thank you very much, Ekuya, for joining the program. Nice program, always helping your people out there. Big ups from Karen. So viewers, please make sure you share for others to benefit from that, because this topic is very, very important. A lot of people have called me some time ago, Joe, this is the situation. My husband, I'm getting nothing out of it. You need to do the clean break, as lawyer has emphasized. So it's very important. It's very, very important. So lawyer, this is a question that I need to pose it this way, that if I'm divorced and still living in the family home without clean break, what happens to the asset if my ex-spouse, my husband or partner, dies or remarry? What happens?
Yes, that's in fact, this gives us opportunity to explain the practicalities of not having this clean break. And as I said when we're doing the Chi show, you realize that the property, for example, the family home may be in one of the parties' name, and then because the property is in one of the parties' name, let's say because the kids are younger, that one stays there. Or sometimes the man is chased out of the house because the kids are younger, the woman stays there. There is a danger here because one, sometimes a man might say that, okay, he's going to make a will to give the property to the younger, to the child. But if you look critically at the Section 11 of the 1975 Inheritance Act, you realize that if that party that has divorced you remarries, then on his death, reasonable provision has to be made to the new spouse. So you, the old spouse, if those assets are in his name, it means they are for him. So it needs to be accounted for her or for him if he's a man. And remember, it's not only men that are in the money. These days we have a lot of women who go out there and get men because they have everything. They just want to settle down. So it just goes for both men and women. So if you are in there and this happens, once that person remarries, then there is a problem because you've not had this financial clean break. You have not had this clean break. The other issue is that, and I'm sure when we look at the dangers, we'll go more into detail, is if, for example, the party becomes bankrupt, then of course the house can be taken from whoever is living in there. Because the administrators need to account to the creditors. And also, even in some circumstances, even when the clean break is not done properly, then the administrators could consider that particular property as a property or transaction of undervalue. This is word that is normally used in the corporate world. So you realize that there are a whole lot of challenges there, but people feel that once, that person is out of their life and they are enjoying those facilities, they are okay. They are not. There is a clear danger there. And that's why I'm saying that this is not about promoting divorce. It's about making people aware that without this clean break, they are sitting on a time bomb. And if they have not sought advice on these issues, they need to make sure that they sort out some of these things because it's so important that they do it.
Okay, lawyer. So if I may ask you this question, before the courts would take that into consideration, what sort of evidence do one need to provide to obviously justify that they are in a relationship? Would that be in the form of marriage certificate? What if they've not married and obviously they are living as partners or married partners? So can you educate us on that area?
Yes, because I'm looking at clean break, because obviously this is a broad area for we have done a program on cohabitees who don't have any right under the Matrimonial Causes Act. And therefore, sometimes they have to enter into what they call cohabitation agreement. We had those of us, those people who have been following us, of course, can watch those videos yourself on the platform that you can say watch. But clearly, again, because you are pushing me to answer this question under the Section 7, Section 11 of the Inheritance Act 1975, even partners who have been with a person for 2 years or more before the person's demise also have right to claim. So again, if those assets are in that person's name and you think that the man has been chased out so you can sit there and enjoy it, one day you may be chased out of it because the other person who has been living with the man after the divorce also has a right because he's somebody who has been there as a partner. So there are various provisions for categories of people under the Section 11 of the 1975 Inheritance Act. And this is the whole crux of this case of Sesame versus Salantron, when they remarried, the new spouse was making a claim of the family home, which has been bequeathed to the son of the former spouse. So there are various complications that if clean break is not done, then these are some of the things that we see.
All right. So, I mean, would you say that the clean break supersedes maybe will or something like that? For instance, if the man is no longer available but the wife is there, and the property belongs to both of you, but then the man, probably the woman supported the man to obtain or acquire these properties, but then it's the man whose name is on it, and the man has done a will and probably given it to someone else. What can be done in the absence of the partner who has deceased?
You are asking very practical questions.
Yes,
The point is that
because we are Africans, lawyer, sorry, before you go, we are Africans, and normally we don't look into that direction. We rely on maybe, now people do a lot of will, and we rely on people telling others, oh, if I'm no longer available, if I'm not there, this is for my children, this is for my wife, this is for this person, okay? But then it can be something else, especially when the man is not, or the woman is not around, and obviously someone needs to claim the properties. That is where my concern is. So can you throw some light into that as well for us, please?
Yes. Okay. Let me look at it this way. If the assets are in the name of one of the parties, it could be the man or the woman. Now, if I can bring you back to the case of Sisme versus Salandrom, a very new case, 2021 case, which most lawyers by now should be familiar with it, clearly sets out this scenario that the couple were married for years, they divorced, the man made a promise to keep his pension and to give the investment property to the woman and to stay in the matrimonial home until such time that he passed away, and then by his will give it to the son, which is the child of the family.
Wow.
Now, this man along the line had cancer. So he was living with a girlfriend. He decided that, okay, if he passes away, for the girlfriend to benefit, get a widow benefit, then he needs to be married to the girlfriend.
The girlfriend, of course. Yeah.
So out of love, he married his girlfriend. Now, what happened is that by marrying the girlfriend, the will that is in place, because they didn't have clean break, is revoked by entering into a new marriage.
That's right.
So under the circumstances, that particular property that they were living, then it means that even though in his will he said that it was meant for the son, clearly it was not for the son because the will is revoked, and the new wife has a right to claim it. So if you look at the facts of the case, the only reason why after they spent so much money is because there was what they call collision cost, which means that there was this promise from the man to keep his pension, which obviously this new woman will benefit. And also the other party also lost out because they felt that he should go to their son. So looking at that, if it was not because of that collision cost, then obviously everything would have gone to the new wife. So that old wife wouldn't have gotten in it. So this is why people need to do clean break. Because if people don't do clean break, then some of these things are bound to happen.
So, Lawyer, is there any timeliness when you have to do this order? Is there any timeliness?
Well, that's the point. The point is that people, I'm sure people who watch the news, I think there was a case where somebody has even been away for almost 10 years. He came back for clean break because the other guy is now so rich. So that's why people, we are in December. So if you ever been through all this and all that, in fact, it's in your interest to have this clean break. Because as I've said, if you look at section 11 of the Inheritance Act 1975, without clean break, then provisions are going to be made to most of those people that we'll soon be looking at. So which means that the spouse may mix out, especially when he's just feeling that the man is out of the show. So he's, that's one of the things. And obviously, if he becomes bankrupt, administrators are also there to also lay claims because they have to maximize the returns for the creditors. So all these things present danger that people should have clean break. And as I've said, this is not about this, but it's about the fact that people are sitting on time bombs and they think that things are okay. And because people don't talk about it, they feel that it's okay. But in the end, a lot of things are happening. People are getting devastated because they've not done some of these things.
So talking about bankruptcy brings memory. When I used to work at the City Advice Bureau, there was one case. Somebody came to me that, he divorced the wife anyway, and prior to that, they've taken a loan, about 20,000 or something like that. They both use it. They've been on holiday and stuff like that, and then the woman went on bankrupt after they've divorced.
Yes.
And then now the guy has to pay everything because he was part of it. You know what I mean? And now they've divorced. So in terms of that, can there be any losses as well with regards to the clean break? Because this is not when this guy is gaining; he's rather losing now as a result of that.
So that is what I've just said. You just again brought in another practical question. The point is that if they've not been a clean break, then obviously they've not separated their financial matters.
Okay.
Though they've divorced, but they've not cut off their financial matters. It is for this reason that when there is bankruptcy, then the asset of the family can still be affected because they've not brought it to a conclusion. They still have these things happening there. So that's the advantage of having this clean break. So you just made mention of something of that nature. And in fact, as I've just pointed out, if one of the parties becomes bankrupt, then of course the asset will be liable to be claimed by the administrators who want to maximize returns for the creditors. Okay. Yes.
So they'll be able to take it without any...
Of course, because obviously if someone has gone bankrupt, then those assets devolve onto the administrators. And this is what some of the things that happen.
They're making a lot of money for no reason. So viewers, it's something that we all need to be aware of. Because I'm not saying it should happen to you, but then obviously knowledge is very important, and should in case you know someone or if you get into that situation, you know exactly what to do, and it's very important that you take note of what we're discussing today. All right, so I'm going to ask you this question as well. I gave up my work to look after our children. My husband or wife is now divorcing me. I have no money. How do I pay for my divorce?
Yes. So people that are familiar with family proceedings will know that this question probably looking at the financial settlement aspect, because the divorce itself is not so expensive. It's a financial settlement that becomes quite expensive for the parties involved. So if, I think I said this in the language, if this person who is saying that doesn't have money because he gave up his or her work to look after the children, it could be the man that maybe the woman is a banker, a barrister, a solicitor, accountant. That man may have given up work because he feels that the wife is a professional. So he wants the wife to work because the wife will end up making more money.
More money, yeah.
So obviously in this country, the one that is working may also have the mortgage in his name or her name, because he is the one that is able to show that he's able to satisfy the affordability requirement.
Yep.
But the point here is that, so when these proceedings start, then that party who is unemployed and looking after the home may not have funds. So what is the way forward? There are three things that people can do. The first one is, as I've said earlier, there is what they call litigation funding. Now, this litigation funding is like paying for your financial proceedings on your credit card, because it's a loan that solicitors can access it
Okay.
And then they can use that loan to finance the proceedings, to pay for their own fees and disbursements.
Okay.
Disbursement means when they are instructing counsel, they are doing interpretation and all those stuff. So they use those funds to do it. So you sit there and then they use that money and give you the bill. So you've taken that litigation fund. But for you to be able to qualify for that fund, then you must show that even if you don't have money, then there is an asset, let's say investment asset. So let's say you have in the home, there are maybe 2 houses, the family home, and then another property, which is for rental purposes. And then also perhaps there are no children who are under the age of 18. So under those circumstances, obviously, parties can sell the property and share and go their separate ways. So litigation funders will be willing to finance such cases.
All right.
But if you don't fit into the description that I've just given, then the other option is that you can enter into arrangement with a lawyer under what they call agreed fee arrangement, where that lawyer may undertake the case and do it all the way to the end and charge you whatever amount you both of you agree, whether 20,000, 25, 15,000, whatever. And then at the end of the proceedings, when the assets are divided, then he gets paid for all the work that he has done. But more importantly, within the proceeding itself, there are also other processes or procedures that people can undertake. And that includes, for example, immediately making application for determination of the financial assets. So once those applications have been made, then simultaneously you can make application for what they call legal services provision order.
Okay.
So that order will enable the court to assess the assets and also to look at the fact that the party that has money should be able to pay for the one that doesn't have monies. Legal fees.
That was
and people are not aware of this, but you can actually get the other party to pay for the cost of the two proceedings. You can pay for himself or herself and pay for your own. So this person who doesn't have money, he can make application for determination of the financial assets and simultaneously make further application for legal services provision order, which his lawyer or her lawyer will argue that he doesn't have money to pay. Therefore, the other party who has savings or pension or rental property should be able to pay for it. So sometimes people feel that, because he doesn't have money, she won't be able to fight the case. It's because probably that person have not got a good lawyer. But obviously all these...
I mean, as somebody said, there are so many ways of killing a cat.
Yes.
You know who said that?
No.
The former NDC secretary or something like that, Dr. Komdaji. Oh yeah, Dr. Komdaji said there are so many ways of killing a cat.
Yes.
You know, so when you get there, obviously, I mean, you need to have a good lawyer who will be able to... So whether you have money or not, you can still proceed with these legal directions, but make sure you contact a very good practitioner, capable practitioner, like practitioners are CITI law solicitors. And of course they'll be able to help you and support you with your needs. What about legal aid? Can people go on that side for that?
No,
it's not applicable to family law and divorce.
No, they don't.
Oh, okay. Unfortunately. So lawyer has given the ways and means that you can obviously access or get finance to. You can ask the partner, you can request for the courts. What if the partner wants to appeal and say, I'm not paying it? It happens, isn't it?
But when the court makes order, it has to...
No, but that is an initial application. You've taken that, obviously they should collect the money from...
no, I'm not talking about when people just take the financial order. I'm talking about making application for financial services provision order.
Oh, okay. It's not just taking that on the divorce form, but it just...
That goes into hearing.
And the court makes the order.
That's right.
All right, based on the person's asset and financial circumstances, then the court will give an order.
So that's why you normally have to make two applications.
It's good.
These are quite complicated.
Yes,
stuff.
that is why I'll need you to take your time and explain.
So you make application for the determination of the assets, and simultaneously you make application for the legal services provision order.
Okay.
So whilst the court is determining the assets, at the same time they will look into making an order for provision for your own legal services.
Good. All right, viewers. So if you've just joined us, I'm here in the studio with my one and only lawyer, Thomas Beyebenwo, one of the finest solicitors lawyers in the UK at the moment. He's the reigning lawyer right now. Everyone is running towards his direction. So if you haven't been to him, please make sure you take the contact details when we put them on board, and then you make sure you contact them, because they are the best to resolve all your legal matters for you. Tonight we're discussing divorce, financial settlement, and clean break. And lawyer has taken his time to go through each of them, and now we're heading towards a very good direction. And we know that you can still proceed, you can still get your settlement, or you can still be able to do your divorce even if you don't have any financial support or whatever. You can still do that, and he's giving us the ways and means or the route that you can access that. So lawyer, thank you very much for taking your time to do that. So I mean, let me ask you this as well. In your line of practice, have you encounter or situations where people have gone through these things that you've outlined? I mean, divorce, financial settlement, and clean break. And how have you been able to remedize this or support them?
Yes, because of data protection and confidentiality.
No, I mean, not to mention names, obviously.
Yeah, but I can say that we have been representing clients that have, the other party has gone for litigation funding, that obviously they have a lawyer in the city, and we are doing very well because we are also representing our client adequately. So we also have agreed fee arrangement. So we have some of these things in place that are happening. Talking about clean break, in the past we had a client that he's gone through a divorce. He has a house, and the other one doesn't had it but sold it. And eventually he attempted to make an application because of the fact that they've not had clean break. So these things are quite common. So if you ask me in my line of business whether I've witnessed these things, yes, they are quite common.
Very common. I mean, and lawyer has got a proven record of dealing with these matters. So please, this is the time for me to obviously sell CITI Light a bit. Lawyer, you work with your colleagues, and I know you guys are based Unit 113 Barking Enterprise, 50 Cambridge Road, Barking, SS IG 118FG. IG 118FG. It's not too far from the Barking station. So if you're looking for anyone, a solicitor or a legal firm to represent you in all your legal matters, please make sure that you contact CITI Law, because they are there to resolve all your legal matters. They specialize in immigration law, employment law, family law, personal injuries and clinical negligence, commercial disputes and civil litigations, housing law, consumer law, media and entertainment law. So please don't look anywhere, don't look further. Make sure you go straight to them. Lawyer is normally busy, and of course they've got the office line, which if lawyer is not even available, some of his learned colleagues will be able to assist you in your in your area of query. So please make sure you contact them. The office number is 02033 550782. I repeat, 02033 550782. So this is a very important topic that we're discussing. If your query is not related to family law, you know, you've been discussing immigration, we've been discussing employment, so many areas. The lawyer will be able to direct you and make sure he gives you the right advice. And of course, if you've been following this program, you know a lot of people have called in to testify that obviously his work ethics and dynamics, everything that he does is obviously good. So he will follow your case through until you achieve a satisfactory result. So please make sure you contact them when you need their services. All right. So let me acknowledge a few people who are here watching us tonight. Our viewers are not really passing a lot of comments. Why are people waiting for Christmas? Christmas is just around the corner anyway, but then we still need to give advice, and it's free legal advice that you're getting. So I've got Nana Frema. Nana Frema says, nice one, sir. God bless you. God bless you too, Nana Frema. Kofi Wizi says, Thomas, you did form and now a legal luminary. All right. Karen is saying, God bless you, Joe and lawyer. Thank you very much, Karen. So please, and Gabriel Bancori says, nice topic. Thank you very much, Gabriel. I know you benefit from this, and if not, someone that you know would definitely benefit from this. Akuya Ajimandria. Akuya says, I just joined the program. Welcome, Akuya, and I hope you keep sharing for others to benefit from it as well. And also, Samuel Afarijai, you remember Afarijai? Yes. Same is listening to us live on the radio. You know, when I mentioned his name, he gave me a thumbs up straight away, and I said yes, that's right. Same is watching with his family. So thank you very much. I know we are looking forward for the festive ahead, but then of course we need to still do what we have to do as part of the program that we bring to you every Tuesdays and Thursdays. So it's good that we live on radio, even though we're approaching the festive. Next week is going to be live. We've got a very interesting thing to discuss. So please make sure you invite everyone. Next week is not going to be focused on law.
Yeah, next week we'll be looking at giving people some awards and some gifts.
You see, you know what? Yeah, this is amazing. When lawyer mentioned that, I said, "Wow, you guys are very generous." You see, so you guys can imagine what I'll be getting as a host. You see, next week, CITI Law is going to bring, or we're gonna acknowledge and cherish our viewers. So people that have been with us throughout, we will be doing selections, and of course, people will be getting awards, presents, for the Christmas occasion. So please, if you've not been watching, make sure you stay tuned all the time, because something good could be coming on your way, and we'll be doing it. Live. We'll be mentioning live, isn't it?
Yes, I'm sure. Somebody sent me congratulations. You are a top fan of CITI Law Solicitors LLP. So I'm sure people will have some of these badges and certificates. Okay. We'll put the studio line there. They send it to us. They have a special award.
That's right. Yes. So once you receive that, then that means, we say thank you for obviously being part of this community. And as I always say, this is an extensive community that we bring in, community that will support ourselves, as African communities. We have to build a community within a community to make sure that we support ourselves. And we are the only people that can help ourselves. So thank you very much, lawyer, for your generosity. And next week, I can't wait to be part of the program, to be honest. That obviously will be able to recognize and of course give awards to our viewers who have been very dedicated. So thank you very much. So lawyer, let me continue with the question. I've got a few questions to ask you in a way. So back to the clean break. So this clean break is something that obviously you've given a lot of information, but then one more question I want to ask in terms of that. If there's no clean break after divorce, what are the dangers?
Yes.
The dangers of it if there's no clean break.
Yes. So we've come to more or less the summary of the benefits of having clean break.
Yep.
And obviously you can, because if you are looking at clean break, and I like you are so intelligent. You mentioned the fact that people don't want to hear about
they don't want to hear that. No,
everybody will pass away because we are not immortal. So everybody will pass away. But the fact is that even me, I don't want to hear well and all those kind of stuff, but I do it for people, but at the same time, yeah, so it's something that, just like we are talking about, not necessarily divorce, but a financial settlement and a claim.
Yeah.
People may not want to hear it, but it's happening. But it is important that people take notice of these things that I'm going to discuss.
Mm.
And this leads to when people have not had clean break. And you're asking me, what is the danger if people don't have clean break?
Yeah.
So the clean break is good to promote it, because this is after people have divorced, they've gone their separate ways.
Mm.
And they've left out their financial matters unresolved. So when they've gone through divorce, everything has finished, they need to sort out the financial matters. And if they don't do it, the dangers are the following. If any of the properties is in the name of one of the parties, so you have assets, let's say the house is in one of the parties' name, even though, as we have said, that we've discussed on this show, we realize that even if the asset is one of the parties' name, it could still be matrimonial asset. And it's for this reason that the woman may have the house in his name, but the man and the children could be living there. Or the man may have his name, but the woman and the children could be living there, because the asset is matrimonial asset. But if that man goes bankrupt, or whoever has that property in his name goes bankrupt, then the administrator is entitled to take those assets. So depending on how much money that he's owing. And normally when people go bankrupt, all the debt they are owing could lose. So maybe you may be owing one person 10,000, another person 50,000, another person 20,000. All those people become creditors. So the danger is that you'll be sitting in that house and the administrator will seek to evict you because they have laid claim over the house.
Yep.
So even though it's matrimonial asset, it's not in your name. It's in the other parties who has gone bankrupt's name.
Mm.
And if people even don't do this clean break properly, then the administrator may even pursue that asset that is transaction under value. And I'm sure that people who are familiar with some of these terms in the corporate world will understand what I mean by transaction under value, when administrators are pursuing assets of a bankrupt. So that's one of the dangers, or I would say two dangers, that people could face if they don't do clean break.
Mm.
The next danger is the fact that if that person who has the properties in his name, there is no clean break, he remarries, then it's more likely that if he passes away, that under the section 11 of the Inheritance Act 1975, the new wife will be entitled to those assets.
Okay.
And normally she will get more of it because there have to be reasonable provision for her needs. And you can see that her needs could be quite numerous.
Yep.
So that's second danger. The third danger is the fact that even the unmarried partner that he has been living with the person for more than 3 years before his demise, who owns those assets that the other person is still holding on to, has a claim. So that one also has a claim because there is no clean break.
Okay.
The fourth danger is the child of the family is equally entitled to also make a claim. And also, if that former spouse, when there is no clean break, if that former spouse has also not remarried, then she could also make a claim, even if the new spouse wants to take everything. So there are all these complications that will subsist even after the demise of one of the parties if there is no clean break. So it is for this reason that you must have a clean break after your divorce.
All right. Thank you very much, lawyer Thomas Beyebenwo from CITI Law Solicitors, for the light that you've thrown into this legal aspect, family law, talking about divorce, financial settlement, and clean break. That's good. So you've outlined the the dangers of not having obviously clean break after divorce. But then also, can you talk about some of the benefits? You know what I mean? When you look at the bad side, I know you've elaborated a lot more on that, but talk about the benefits of having that clean break after divorce, please.
Yes, obviously, if you look at the dangers, then the converse of it will be the benefit. Because if you go through the clean break, then obviously you avoid somebody laying a claim on the asset that you already thought it was for you. Because obviously, if you're living in that house and then the new spouse wants to make a claim, if you had a clean break, then obviously she won't have any right of coming to chase that asset. If you had a clean break, then obviously the administrator, if the other party has gone bankrupt, will not have any right of pursuing that asset, because that asset will no longer be in the other party's name. So it is for all these reasons that it's beneficial that you should have your clean break. Obviously, it settles the matter. And remember, if the other party remarries, even if there is a will, it revokes it. So if you have a clean break, then obviously it is those things that belongs to the man that obviously, or the woman that obviously goes to his estate.
Okay, thank you very much. So we know the merits and demerits of clean break after divorce. Thank you very much, lawyer. So viewers, it's time for you to call the studio to ask questions. And of course, we're not limiting your questions to only this topic we've discussed today. You can ask any topic, any question at all, whether we covered before, any legal aspect of area of law, you can ask your question. So the phone lines are open now. The studio number is 079 3293 4518. I repeat, it's 079 3293 4518. And there's another one which is 074 4033 8623. I repeat, 0744 033 8623. So we've opened the phone lines. Please make sure you call and ask questions. I mean, it shouldn't just relate to what we've discussed tonight. It could be any aspect or any area of law. Lawyer is ready to answer your questions. Please, if you don't, then that means, or that presupposes that everything has been well understood and that there are no issues. So if you call me later on, whilst I'm busy, maybe in my office, or check at this, I will definitely refer you, and that is not going to be free. So this is an opportunity for you to ask the question that you wanted to ask me yesterday, of course, and I'll do a referral if you don't do that and call me later on. So please, we are here in the studio waiting for your phone calls. Any area of law at all, it shouldn't relate to this topic. It could be immigration, it could be employment, it could be family law, personal injuries, commercial dispute, anything at all. Please make sure you call the studio line. I repeat the number once again: 079 3293 4518, and the other one is 0744 033 8623. We are in the studio. We've got about 5 more minutes, and we'll take your calls, and lawyer will gladly respond and give you the right information. So we wait for you to call in. Lawyer, thank you very much. So now, next week,
yes.
So as we're going to do the Christmas award night.
Yes.
CITI Media Christmas Award night, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's going to be live here. So I mean, we are staff. Should we wear?
Take a look at this.
Should we wear our Christmas jumpers? Obviously.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'll be my Christmas jumper anyway. So this is it. Congratulations, you are a top fan of CITI Law Solicitors LLP. You've earned a top fan badge by being one of their most active followers, stand out from the crowd with the top fan badge. Oh my God, this is amazing.
So this is the bag that somebody has got, and he sent to me this morning. So obviously,
this is amazing. This is amazing.
So,
I mean,
so people should take the studio number. If they've got anything of this bag, they should send it to us. There is a special award for
exactly.
Them. And then
I mean, you guys have been very generous, and we applaud you for the good work that you're doing, because it's very rare that legal firm would do that. They want to take your money. They don't want to. They don't want to, give you any award or whatever. But now you've brought us a media.
Yes.
You've brought what do you call it? A radio, and on top of it, you're giving your viewers and their callers
rewards or gifts,
award or gift for this festive occasion.
Since you show so much keen interest, let's discuss the procedure as we are waiting for people to
go on. I mean,
the first thing is that people who can send us this badge, which I've shown to you. Obviously, I'm sure somebody has sent me one, so that person has a guaranteed gift that will be made available to the person in due course.
Of course,
anybody who has such a badge can send it to the studio line,
of course,
through WhatsApp. All the 2 numbers have WhatsApp, and then we'll ensure that we'll call the person and then get his or her details to make sure that he received that award. And for those who have been sharing, we are also looking at people who have shared so much videos.
Yeah.
And then there's also a special...
Yeah, that one we have records in a way.
Yes, we have record of
We have records. So
it is those that have been watching. Facebook is the one giving those badges to them. So they have to send those badges to us so that we know who they are, so that we can reward them accordingly. And for those who share so much of the videos to friends and family, that there is also a special award for them.
So I mean,
gift, as you say.
Next week's award night is going to be Fanta Bruta. It's going to be Fanta Bruta. So make sure you're logged in, and because it's going to be surprising. I mean, you wouldn't know who is going to win, and of course, people will get a notification anyway. So once you get it, then of course you forward it to us, as lawyer has alluded to, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that is good. That is good. So lawyer, whilst we're waiting for people to call, and
let's not forget, this also goes to those who are watching the YouTube.
Yes, of course.
We have some subscribers there. If you have subscribed to the CITI Law Solicitors YouTube channel, and of course, you will check, and then I'm not sure how the YouTube works, but obviously Facebook, I know you can get a badge.
Of course.
And we can also see how those people that are sharing the videos, and those people are going to get immense rewards or gifts.
I know when lawyers say immense, then that means immense. With much emphasis on immense. All right. So lawyer, under 2 minutes, please, can you give a summary of what we've discussed tonight? Talking about clean break, financial settlement, and of course the divorce that you've highlighted in all the areas. Can you summarize it under 2 minutes for me? Please do us the honor. Thank you very much.
Yes, I want to first and foremost thank everybody for being there throughout the year. We've come to the end of the year. The Lord has been good to all of us. And obviously, I am full of praise to those loyal fans, those people who have been following us, who have been making referrals for us. We appreciate you. We give you so much thanks, and we are full of praise and acknowledge all that you've been doing for CITI Law Solicitors. So I must say that on behalf of CITI Law Solicitors, all the partners and employees, we want to say a big thank you to you out there for being with us, for following us on Facebook, YouTube, and above all, for even listening to the radio and enjoying music and free legal advice, because obviously without you, we can't continue to do this program. So we are so grateful to you guys. I must say here that this topic is not just about divorce. This topic is about clean break. So I am not sitting here to promote divorce. I am not saying that people should leave their relationship, please. All I'm saying is that when people have gone through the process and has come to the end of it, then they must make sure that going forward they should have a clean break. And I have been privileged to be hosted by MC Chaka, who have trained me very well to be able to answer a lot of questions that I'm sure will be quite beneficial to most of you out there. So tonight we just discuss obviously financial settlement and then the clean break, and we look at the dangers or the benefits of having clean break. And I'm sure that somebody watching me tonight or who's going to watch us later after receiving the link will be able to learn something from it. And for whatever reason you need further questions on this topic, or you have any issue under the family law, child arrangement order, divorce, financial settlement, non-molestation order, all those stuff under the family law, we are accredited family law firm. We have a badge specialized in family law. So when you bring your case to us, you've come to the right place. Sometimes we've talked so much about immigration, and I know that most of you are already aware what we can do for people that we've been privileged to serve and represent them adequately. But I also want people to understand that we are family law accredited, and therefore we are able to deal with family, all kinds of issues on areas, including children matters. If the council has been involved in taking your child from you, we'll be there to defend you and get your child for you.
That's right.
If you are going through some of these things and you don't have money, come to us and we can assist you. So that's what I want to say to those of you who are watching us tonight.
All right. Thank you very much to you as well, Lawyer Thomas Beyebenwo and CITI Law Solicitors, for free advice that you're giving us for the media house that you built for us. And of course, I mean, we are benefiting from it. So we all say, on behalf of viewers and listeners, I'd like to say thank you too for the good work that you're doing for the African community. And may God richly bless you. So, viewers and listeners, so in the absence of any further question, then of course I'll be drawing the curtain. This is where we end the program. And of course, we'll be back next week, God willing, with an interesting topic and celebration. Christmas is just around the corner. That will be exactly next week, isn't it? Next week, Saturday will be Christmas. So Friday will be, what do you call it? Christmas Eve. Trust me, it's just around the corner. There's a lot of activities going on in London. If you are in London, then you understand what I'm talking about. But we will definitely meet next week prior to the Christmas. And of course, we will be showing love to our viewers and listeners, as Lawyer alluded earlier on. So thank you for being part of this program, and thank you for watching this evening as well. We'll be back, of course, and then the tree version will continue with Big Willie. And then thank you and big shout out to you, Big Willie, for your support and the great work that you did last week with the tree version. Yeah, we're looking for people of your caliber to obviously be part of this community that we're building. And I have no doubt that you excel in the area that you've mounted to. So thank you very much for exhibiting your professionalism and your knowledge in what you do last week with Lawyer with the tree version. Thank you very much. Keep it up, and we are solidly behind you. So viewers and listeners, my name is MC Chaka. I've been your proud host for this educative program. God willing, we're going to meet next week. Until then, please have a very good evening. Thank you.